Hey guys, so I just want to throw a quick update out there. Not a whole lot's changed, but by coincidence yesterday I ran into some old friends here in town. It was a holiday and I was at the park with my kids, and they were I could say local couple. So the international couple, the wife is from Scotland, the husband is a local Japanese guy, and they started running an English school about 10 years ago now. They were the first people in my immediate circle who went solo. Back then it was really unusual because the big schools were around, and of course everybody was also 10 years younger, so we were all still in our 20s. And so they did the old school, hardcore, start from nothing, build up to something that I did. And now they actually have two locations. There's one, I want to say it's like 5 kilometers due south, and another that's about 3 or 4 east. And I mentioned my situation, and well, what I said was, would you guys ever want to have a third location? And they're like, no, no way, no, because they went through the same ordeal twice, where they built up one location from nothing, and then they started a second and built that up from nothing too. But the idea of buying an existing business that already has revenue and students and a network seemed pretty attractive to the wife. She was kind of like, why are you selling? And I said, I may be. And she said, oh, contact us first, contact us. So that's a pretty cool development. They would be the ideal buyers because they've got experience in teaching and running the school, also in running multiple locations. And because the husband is Japanese, that's going to make the changeover a lot easier. He can handle all of the paperwork and the language, of course, and then also he can get qualified for loans if they need one to take one out much, much more easily than a foreigner. Foreigners basically almost always have to have resident national sign for them, just because it's just how it is. They're too much of a flight risk. If you take out a loan, say $20,000-$30,000 loan for 5 years, and you only have a 3-year visa, that could present a problem. So that was a cool development. I'm hoping it comes together smoothly. I mean, really, if I can run this place by myself, there's no reason why they couldn't kind of just dispatch a teacher here. They wouldn't always have to be running around back and forth, so to speak. So I hope that one comes together. It's kind of a weird time. It's been a weird year, and it's a weird time too. I just feel like I think everyone else is there too. But sometimes these massive upheavals can also mean a good time to make some changes in your life. So personally, I was getting into software development and whatnot, but I was also kind of just dabbling, if I'm really honest with myself. It is a very technical and initially very intimidating profession because there's a lot to learn, and you have to be really, really comfortable with getting stuck all the time and finding out what the mistake is, and etc. It's not something you can just kind of casually do, like, oh, I'm going to go wait tables, or I'm going to sell cars or something. Those are each skills that are valuable, but they don't take as much study and etc. as something like this. It's really similar to being an actual engineer. So because of that, it can be hard to really penetrate deep enough to the point where you're actually valuable and have ability. It's really similar to learning a second language, actually. That's my kind of closest experience to this, is that, like, you've got to stick with it and get into it, and really what you need a use for it. That's what everyone tells me. It's true with language, and apparently it's true with software development. So by use, I mean you're building something for a client, or you're somehow under pressure to get something done because you're getting paid for it, which is the ultimate motivator. It's that, and I would say, like, training for a competition, or trying to impress a girl. Those three are massive. So let's see, tomorrow I've got a meeting with my soon-to-be boss, so that should give me a lot more direction in terms of when I'm starting and etc. My only big question mark now is like what time of day I'll be working. One nice point actually is that the late morning here in Japan works out to be the evening in the U.S., at least Pacific Coast time. New York is a little later, but what time is it? It's 11. So 9 a.m. Japan time is 5 p.m. Seattle time and 8 p.m. New York time, which is when a lot of people are actually going to be busy. They're going to be posting questions, working on their projects, because that's after work for them, right? They get off work, they come home, have dinner, and then they start studying. So it may be that I can work basically just the day shift here and cover well into the night for students stateside. A few of the support coaches have told me that they regularly get requests for help at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, which is so late to be up working in front of the computer and like having all that cognitive demand, because coding will absolutely like just waste your head. You'll be so spent cognitively. You literally can't think straight after. It depends, but I'd say right around the 4-hour mark, if you've been coding straight for 4 hours, you really start to get silly. So that'll be awesome. And then on the other hand, also I can at the end of my shift, I can update other support coaches and tell them where I'm at, what's been going on, what I've tried, and they can jump in when they start their day, which is normally around 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night over here, and they can pick up where I left off. So we'll have much more coverage, which will be really good for the students, I think. Because there's nothing quite like investing a bunch of money in something, trying your hardest, and getting stuck and asking a question and then having to wait. That waiting period can be really kind of miserable. I'm actually dealing with that now. I'm trying to get a new laptop, and in Japan it's all about the bank transfer. It's called the Furikomi. Amazing laptop, such a good deal. It was like 50% off or something. Still expensive, but I was like, snatch, got it, But the bank they've sent me, I can't find it on my local Tokushima bank's system. So I got in touch with them like, hey guys, I can't find this. So I may ask if I can just change the payment to credit card. It might be a smart idea. We'll see. I'll wait to hear back from them, and if I don't, I'll call them. That's the last resort for me. I hate using the phone. It's so time consuming. Can't do anything else. And that's another thing in Japan they just love. Calling you or meeting in person. And I avoid it like the plague because it's a massive brain drain. Anyways, I've jabbered enough. So I'll probably post another video tomorrow after the meeting. I've got one meeting one-on-one with my new boss, and then another meeting immediately after that with my boss and the other support coaches, which will be kind of interesting. I need to actually double check with them about that. So, signing off. See you guys.